All right, you clowns, the boss is coming to see you, so no funny stuff, got it? Well, I hope you two have been treated fairly. Oh yeah, the room service has been especially great. A sense of humor. At least you kept that. I don't suppose I can convince you to change your mind on this whole world domination thing. Never! I see. Well, I think another month in here should hopefully give you a new perspective. If you'll excuse me, I have a review to do. Hope this one finally knocks you out. Ugh. Greetings, fellow travelers. I'm really not in the mood to do this. No, really. This movie has made me question how any human could have survived after making this literal and figurative piece of shit. But I have to review it, if only to let you know that this is a thing that humanity made, and it is this that will confirm the fact that movies released to theaters aren't all garbage. Ladies and gentlemen, and others, I present to you a movie called Monsturd. By Dan West and Rick Popko. It is said to be a rip-off of another low-budget horror film, and one I quite enjoy, called Jack Frost, where a serial killer is mutated and turned into a killer snowman. Yes, I know how silly that sounds, but I am not in any way joking. That film is really entertaining and quotable. Unlike this film, which makes me want to violently vomit, drink, cry, punch, and a million other things that will more than likely get me arrested. The movie is about a young girl who tells her dad a scary bedtime story about a small town having to deal with a serial killer who, after being hit with toxic chemicals, is turned into a monster made out of human excrement. Yes, really. This movie is about a serial killer who gets turned into a pile of shit that kills people. What is things? Oh boy, if there is one thing that this movie gets horribly wrong, is the cast. Not one person cares in this movie, which is not surprising considering no one in this movie is an actor. I don't care if they appeared in other films, no one in this movie can act and has no business to become an actor. I'm not sure if the people who worked on this were just friends and or colleagues of the directors, but whoever they are, they need to take some acting classes. Badly. If there is anything I can say about this movie that is positive, is that I did chuckle at a few of the scenes in the movie. However, those scenes were either intended to be funny or there was a mistake made in the scene that made it hard for me not to laugh. Other than that, this movie doesn't really have anything else going for it to make it worth sitting through. What's negative about this movie? Sorry, but where do I start with this section? Other than the cast being horrible, this movie has terrible special effects, writing that was clearly done by monkeys, and jokes that fall so flat you'd think that it was a 2D character. It just seems that all they cared about while making this atrocity was to have it be more about the jokes and nothing else, which makes for a poor movie. It truly is just a poor ripoff of Jack Frost, but instead of having decent writing, the movie becomes a hodgepodge of jokes that don't make any sense or random scenes with barely any connecting plot. This movie is definitely one of the worst movies I've ever seen, but not for the reasons that you might be thinking of. Sure, it's got bad writing, terrible special effects, and one of the worst monster suits of all time. However, this is a movie called Monsturd, so those are all things to expect in this type of a film. So what puts this on my worst list? It's because this movie didn't need to be made. Like I said in the beginning of the video, this movie really exists is because the directors wanted to parody Jack Frost. But Jack Frost is already a movie that makes fun of itself. The best way I can describe Monsturd is that it's a movie that parodies another parody movie. That's like if I decided to make a parody movie of parody movies like Scary Movie or Date Movie. It seems pointless and unnecessary. I give this movie a 1 out of 10, and the only reason it's getting that 1 point is that this movie did make me laugh, and that's it. Well, that was painful to sit through. I'm Dr. Waluigi, and remember, oh, are you now? What the? Who's that? Why don't you come down and find out? Down? What are you? Ah!
We're tiny, we're toony, we're all a little loony. And in this cartoony, we're invading your TV. We're comic dispensers, we crack up all the censors. On Tiny Toon Adventures.